Without history, there is no concept of humanity. That is the ethos of Infinite Archives, a brand founded by Chicago native Isame Otabor, aka Easy, a designer and entrepreneur by way of RSVP Gallery, which was founded by Don C. and Virgil Abloh. Easy's mission with Infinite Archives is to connect the present with the past, and with his latest collaboration with Jordan Brand, he's definitely done it. It is storytelling personified. It is why sneakers can be much more than just these things that we put on our feet. If done right, it really can be a form of art. Infinite Archives Air Jordan 17 Low Beach. The shoe is dropping on October 17th for $255 in the United States. I believe it already dropped in Chicago, where Easy is from. There was a raffle. I don't know if there's like any other special drops around the country, but nationwide release October 17th. And the 17s, if you didn't know, that was the Jordan Brand shoe that came out when Michael Jordan was a member of the Wizards. So it's a different era for MJ. It retailed during the 2002 All-Star game. And at the time, it actually retailed for $200. So super, super expensive, even back then. And one thing that I've always loved about the 17s, the subtle kind of minor details and the inspiration that it pulls from. So you get things like jazz music, golf, the Aston Martin, and I'll go through these later, how it appears on this shoe. First impressions of this shoe. I'm not even like a huge 17s guy. I know 1 to 14 for Jordans will always be kind of the golden era. But after that, I've always liked the Jordan 20s, the 21s, the 23s. I absolutely love. 17s was not my favorite. But because they haven't been like ramming it down our throats and haven't brought back a ton of 17s, every time they do bring it back, it feels kind of a little bit more special than like another retro of a Jordan 3 or Jordan 4. So that has made me appreciate it a bit more. And the colorway of this is really nice. This beach colorway also gives it a more aged look, which generally I think is kind of played out, that I don't love, but it makes sense on this shoe. The whole point is for this to look like it came from the archives, came from the past into the present. So it absolutely makes sense. It is a really nice colorway for a shoe that I'm just not like a huge fan of. I'm gonna do the unboxing first because it is just such a unique unboxing experience. I don't usually do this part first, but this is where we're gonna start. Now I've already unboxed the shoe. I've already put it on feet, worn it. So I put it back, trying to recreate the moment that is brand new. It's a little messy inside. If you do decide to get this shoe, just know that they really pack it very nicely. But first, this box, very sturdy cardboard box. It also has these kind of like shelf hinges on the 4 corners of the box. The lid has Jumpman and Infinite Archives logo as well. And on the inside of the box, you will see this slip, and that says records, carton identification. And on the comment section, you'll see Jordan 17 by Wilson Smith, donated August 2016. Now, if you didn't know Wilson Smith, he was the first black designer for Jordan Brand, and he designed shoes like the Uptempos, the Jordan 16s, as well, of course, the Jordan 17s. So this shoe comes with these white gloves. That is, again, very common for like an archive room. So these gloves, on one, it says 2002, 2025. 2002 was when the Jordan 17 first came out with Infinite Archives branding there. And then on the other glove, this pays homage to Nike's DNA archive department. I'm gonna put these on as if I am touching a shoe from the past. So I did work at a sneaker company in a corporate setting before, and while I was there, the building itself, you did need like a key card to get in, so it was secure that way. But all the rooms, like once you're inside, like the sample room, the product room with a bunch of prototypes, shoes that are about to be released, none of them were locked. You could just go in there if you're an employee, touch and feel, and perhaps take photos of any samples. You're not supposed to, but people definitely did. But the one room that was secure within the secure building was the archive room. So you needed like another keypad or key card access entry. You couldn't just go in. It was temperature controlled, and you had to use these gloves to also touch the shoe. You had to be supervised. You couldn't just go in there, even if you did have a key card. So obviously, sneaker companies really value the archive room. You will see the original sketches and designs of the Jordan 17. Very cool there. I love that. You'll also see Infinite Archives branding as well. And this is how the shoe comes. Each shoe is sealed. Again, I have already unboxed this, so The wrapping I did for the shoe isn't exactly great. It would be much neater when it comes brand new. Now this shoe also comes with this record adapter. So if you remember, when the Jordan 17s first released, it actually came with like this briefcase as well as a CD-ROM. One of the inspirations of the shoe was jazz music. So record adapter here with Jumpman branding. Very, very cool touch. Again, like I said, the unboxing of this is absolutely great. Now onto the shoe itself, in terms of the materials, you will get this kind of beige tan color that is not chosen by random. Easy, the founder of Infinite Archives, like I said in the intro of my video, he worked for RSVP Gallery that was co-founded by Don C, as well as Virgil Abloh, and both of them separately have had collaborations with Jordan Brand that also featured this beige colorway. And materials on this, it is just leather, and this leather does feel pretty nice. It is not like the thickest cut of leather, feels soft. Black Ice Days is leather as well. The only part you don't see leather is this booty here. That is nubuck, and there is mismatched branding there. So on the right shoe, you'll get Infinite Archives branding. On the left shoe, just a regular Jumpman. And another place where you will see mismatched branding is this little tag that is on the booty sleeve. Right shoe says Jordan, the other one says Archives. And my favorite thing about the Jordan 17 is absolutely this heel counter, this chrome type of strip. For the B-roll, I've obviously taken this strip off for like just sitting here, putting this shoe. I do want to make it seem like this is brand new, that I've never worn it. So I stuck the tab back on, but it does say peel off. So once you remove this strip, you will see this gradient, almost iridescent color for the chrome strip there. I love how that looks. That looks just so sleek. And I believe it is the first time they allowed them to change the color and make it like a gradient color for this part of the 17s. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but I do remember, I think, Easy himself mentioning that fact, but it just looks absolutely great. And one of the more special things about the Jordan 17 that is not on the low version is the regular version, not the lows, does have this lace cover over it, and that actually had the design of musical notes on it. Again, paying tribute to the jazz music inspiration for the 17s. And this little booty sleeve, of course, another very standout part of this shoe. And it's kind of in this like neoprene material. And this shoe does come with one extra set of laces. So out of the box, just these black laces with these metallic-like lace tips with Jumpman branding on them. And the extra set of laces has these white stripes all over. Out of the two, I'm definitely going with the black just because of these metallic-like lace tips. I think that looks cool. I think it elevates the shoe a little bit. The first time Jordan Brand actually used metallic lace tips on a shoe was the Jordan 14s, and you'll see the top eyelets says Jordan. And one really cool thing about the 17s that's not on the low version is the way the eyelets are shaped. You'll actually spell out 17 in Roman numerals. And the Jordan 17s does come with a Phylon midsole with a zoom air in the forefoot, as well as an air unit on the heel of the shoe. And you will see this huge TPU piece extend all the way from the rear to the midfoot. And you'll see Jumpman branding right there on the lateral side of the shoe, and on the toe, very subtly, 23. Now moving on to the outsole, this is where a lot of the magic happens for this collaboration. So you'll see all these different colors that is referenced here, and that pays tribute to past Jordan 17s. The whole point, or like the whole theme of Infinite Archives, is to connect the past with the present. So you will see the red colorway here. Michael Vick used to wear that on the field. The yellow colorway is a reference to the Lightnings. Michael Jordan wore that in the All-Star game. The UNC 17s, of course, is referenced there. The purple one, that is Mike Bibby's own PE for the 17s. He was one of the more well-known Jordan Brand like athletes, along with like Ray Allen and Richard Hamilton. The black here is a reference to the chrome colorway that Kobe Bryant actually wore himself. And this blue, deep blue colorway, that is a reference to the original Wizards colorway. Of course, Jordan was already on the Wizards by then. And you'll see the pattern of the outsole. It is not just by random. It is taking inspiration from Michael Jordan's second favorite, maybe favorite now, but one of his favorite sports, golf. So it's supposed to look like a golf course from a bird's eye view. And again, love that. The details and designs of the 17 is just very, very well thought out. I love it. And you will see right behind this TPU material here poking through. This shoe does come with a carbon fiber plate, full length, so there was a lot of emphasis in terms of stability, support, and rigidity of this shoe. Now, with all that praise that I gave to the shoe, the insole, they did not come correct. Very, very generic insoles, not polyurethane or anything. It does have Infinite Archives branding there, but yeah, that's about it. Now, in terms of size and comfort, I am a wide and flat footer. For the 17s, I went true to size. Now, I had mentioned how much like stability and rigidity this shoe comes with. And one negative aspect of this is you'll see this arch area, it goes up quite high. It is very solid there. So as a flat footer, you definitely feel it. It like digs into your lack of arches. It does get a little bit better when you break it in a bit more and loosen up the shoe, but you can always kind of feel it. I do not want to go up half size. It would just be slightly too much room in the toe area because there's no actual pain in the toe box or anything. But just this part, I'm afraid to tell you, if you have wide and flat feet, it is one of those shoes that you will probably never find the perfect fit. But if you don't have wide and flat feet, I do think you could just stick true to size. Otherwise, apart from the arch area, which is more personal to me, to my foot, I think it feels really nice underfoot. It is kind of stiff when you first break the shoe in. Again, carbon fiber plate with all the TPU wrapping around the shoe can feel kind of clunky, but once you break it in, get used to it. I do like the cushioning underfoot. If you know like how it feels to wear a retro basketball shoe that's not so old, where it's like a Jordan 1 with a rubber cup sole, but more along the later Jordans, I think you'll definitely have no problems with this. And that brings the total sole score of the Infinite Archives Jordan 17 Low Beach to 39 out of 50. A very high score compared to other collaborations. Now first, it is colorway. The beach colorway in a vacuum, like, do I love it? The kind of aged look that it's going for, just on its own, it's not like my favorite thing. Doesn't get me super excited, but just off this outsole alone, I think this looks so pretty. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 for the colorway. And in terms of the materials, these are nice. The leather isn't like the thickest or anything, but it feels nice and soft to the touch. You can kind of see the texture on the leather here on the mid panel especially, but it's not like overdone. And in terms of the comfort, admittedly, I don't wear much Jordan 17s for casual use. This is the only one that I have in my rotation right now, but I do think it is a decently comfortable shoe. There is a bit of a break-in period because it is such a rigid shoe. For my foot, the arch area does not feel good because I have flat feet, but that is kind of my own personal problem. But overall, it is decently comfortable. And in terms of the versatility, the shape of this is, I wouldn't say it is the most wearable silhouette. With this sleeve especially, it's kind of odd. Still looks very much, to me anyway, to my eyes, very much like a basketball shoe, so I don't think it's the most versatile shape. The colorway of it, it is very, very wearable. This kind of aged beach look, black, nothing too bold, nothing too out there, which is again why I say it was such a smart thing to do all this colorful stuff on the outsole, because if it was on the upper of the shoe, it'd just be too much, too messy. Wearability of the colors, very good. The wearability of the shoe itself, the shape, I don't think it's great. And in terms of the storytelling, 10 out of 10. I loved the whole unboxing experience, the little details that connects the past to the present. It really was just very well done. Not much can be said. And the branding is not like super, super in your face. The execution of the storytelling overall, it is perfect. Some people love collaboration, some people don't. Some think it's kind of tacky, some think there's no point to it, just give us OGs all the time. I happen to really like collaborations when it's done right. When storytelling is front and center, it is one of the best things about this stupid little hobby, and this shoe has definitely reiterated how special a collaboration can be. Definitely, I think, one of the best sneakers of the year. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Sole Inclined. Let me know what you think of the Infinite Archives Air Jordan 17 Low Beach. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes